Welcome back to the Tide Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Hiya Toys Rambo First Blood Part 2 figure. Now, they've made two different versions of this that I know. The first one I think is sold out. This is the one that I wanted, and I think it's a pretty good figure overall. Is it perfect? Well, it's premium. They did a lot of things good. There's a couple of minor things I would have liked to see a little bit different, and questionability about some materials lasting long term. They're doing fine through the review, but then again, I don't really review very many of these premium high-end ones, and so since this is one of the first, actually the first Hiya Toys one, I plan to look at several more. I like it that much, but I will give you the pluses and minuses. I did get this at not Show Z, but Gundam It, which is pretty much the same thing, except you have to just re-log in under Gundamit.com. I will have a link down below where you can get this. Remember, TH reviewer code. But let's get into taking a look at the Hiya Toys 6-inch scaled Rambo. All right, here is the box. It comes with a sleeve, and once you take the sleeve off, then there's the top part box, which is, this slides off of it, and it's kind of got a Rambo face on it. And then this is what it looks like on the inside, packed with, well, they're trying to protect the face, but that's how it's packed on the inside. This is the back of it, kind of just repeating the same picture over and over. I think it's packed pretty well. It feels premium. It feels like a nice premium packaging. All right, so here he is out of the box. I gotta say that they've done a lot of good things with him. He looks really good for the most part. The head sculpt looks good. He's got 3 heads. I'm gonna kind of, I guess, go over accessories in different forms here, but this is the head I put on him. I think he comes with more of a solemn look. Let's see if I can get that to register. It's not focusing. Then we have kind of a sneer, like he's angry, and I'm gonna put on here kind of like a yelling face. I kind of like that. I like that yelling face. Now it also has, they all have actual material coming off the side. It's not like rubber. It's actual cloth for his head bandana thing that he does going on there. And it comes with this jacket, which I'm not a fan of, but this is the First Blood Part 2 figure, and I will probably take it off. I'm going to leave it on just for a little bit as we talk about this guy. But he does feel smooth. His joints feel pretty smooth. He's got a ton of hand options, accessory options. He's got this little tank top, which we'll be able to take off also. So there's a lot of cool stuff that they've done with it. And he's got the black pants in there, look kind of cool, like cargo pants. And then he's got these boots, which I'm not sure if they come off. I'm not going to even mess with that. I'm just going to leave those on, but it's still kind of cool, kind of interesting. The soft goods, something I'm not too used to, but I think they've done the soft goods really, really well. Now, they did the soft goods really well. The jacket was easy enough to just get off, just slide it off, and that's kind of cool. I'm not going to be using it for the rest of the review. It's cool it's in there, but I don't need it. And when I think of Rambo, I think of more Rambo just kind of like this, actually completely shirtless, but we can pull that off. And we probably do that here later on, but looking pretty cool like this. And this is kind of how I will probably display him. And we will compare him to the NECA and what all they've done. But they've got a slew of hands. So this hand here is obviously for the bow. And for me displaying, I don't swap hands out. So once I got a hand on, so I've got the bow one on there, the pull string. And I'm just going to do kind of like a grabbing hand. Now this hand that he has on right now is more like a chopping hand or a stop. And when I get to articulation, I'll kind of show you what all the hands can do, but it can kind of go up like stop or maybe a karate chop or something like that. It can get someone in the jugular or something, but I'm going to swap a different hand on it real quick. So he's got a holding, a bigger holding, a grasping, and then a tighter grasp on the left hand. So I'm just going to probably just do a kind of this tighter grasp one here, and then he's got all the same holdings, but he's got a trigger finger. He's got a pointer finger for this one, or maybe that's just like another trigger finger. But lots of different options and different types of trigger fingers. Different trigger fingers to go to different ones. But I'm just going to use the bow one. It's going to work for me. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm always terrified whenever I swap hands out like this. This is always kind of a problem for me. Not a problem, but a concern. And that's nice and smooth. It works. It gets the job done. And there we are. Let's get him with his first weapon or accessory, and he's got quite a few. Right, here's his bow. I think I actually have the bow upside down. I had it the other way, but it was a lot harder with the tension string to get him to hold it and make it look sort of a realistic pose. And actually his arm should be out further, but I'm actually not great with posing with the bow and on any figure, but it is kind of cool that you can get some more range out of it if he pulls back too much further. Well, actually, I'll try to get his arm all the way to straight. It's a bit of a challenge. But yeah, you can pull off quite a few poses with this. But for me, personally, I'll probably have him just having it down the side. It is cool that he's got the two fingers to hold, spread apart to hold that in. And it works. And yes, I got the bow upside down. But still, it looks pretty cool. It's a cool accessory. He doesn't just come with one arrow. He comes with 6. And you get this kind of quiver for him to hold. And he can put it on his back and go out and about with his quiver on. You might want to put it over his shoulder and stuff. But still, kind of cool that it comes with it. Probably want to take his head off to put it over his shoulder, and that would make it work. Next up, it comes with this little necklace that he wears, and you can just slide it over his neck, pop his head off, get it on there, and there he is with his necklace. And then he comes with his knife, and he can, of course, hold his knife like so. And that might be why we have these other hands. One holds a little tighter for the knife, so probably need to get that one on there. And there's a little bit of silver paint on it. It looks like it's got some silver paint to it. Cool looking. It is the quintessential, if I can get it to focus, the quintessential Rambo knife. And he does have a little sheath for it right here. Slide it into place. And it is made of cloth, so it's kind of a different departure for me, but still looks really good. So he does have some guns. We're going to start with the big guns, the bazooka, and I'm not able to quite get this over there. Get a hand over there so we can kind of help stabilize the bazooka and get it to the sights. But anyway, still looks pretty good, and with more time, I probably could, if I spend a lot more time, I can get a great pose with this bazooka. And of course, he can be in laying down pose. Now the hair kind of obstructs that. We haven't gotten to articulation yet. The hair does obstruct that just because it's the hair, not the range of motion. Okay, next one into the... He's got the AK-47, just a kind of a standard AK-47, is like you would see in all of these Rambo movies. Pretty much what the bad guys have. They all have. The AK-47 is the choice of bad guys in a Rambo movie. Still, looks pretty good. He's got a shotgun. Obviously, he wouldn't shoot it like that, but then you can fold this back also, and that works. This should have some articulation, I would think. Guess not. There we go. There's the shotgun. Looks pretty good. Lastly, we got these little pieces here. I'm not sure what they're called. And he's got a watch. Oh, he's got a watch. Got to put that watch on. But I forgot what these little pieces are called. They comes with the original Coleco one. And let's get that watch on there. What time is it, Rambo? It's 0600. What time is it, Rambo? It's time for revenge. He comes with a stand. I've never really been big on any of these kind of stands unless they're actually flying, but maybe he's jumping in the air and he's about to, I don't know, tackle someone. He's about to jump on someone. Well, I'm looking for Filmation, Hanna-Barbera, or Deke. You just found trouble, punk. Alright, so this does open up for storage if you want that. You want to store your weapons, accessories in there. Include a nice baggie. You can also have just the stand alone separately. So if you want the stand over here and you want a storage container, that's kind of a good idea. Store away. I think I will utilize that. I usually leave my stuff in the box, but if I can use the stand, I'll probably leave this in the box, but if I can use the stand as a storage, which I don't usually use stands, but it'll be kind of cool. All right, let's do some articulation and some comparisons. And of course, we took the tank top off to do this, so we can see all the cut joints and everything. But head side to side, up and down, down really low, up not that much because of the molded hair, and it's with all the heads. So that is an issue. So you can't get like a laying down, aimed up pose. But shoulders go out to about there, and of course you can get 360. You have kind of a rubbery in here, which makes this lighter chest piece, which is kind of a pain. You do get a butterfly to that level, and we've been utilizing it for some of these poses already. You got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, And then the hands. Okay, so the hands are it's double jointed hands in all different positions, depending on which position you want it in and out, up and down. And the fact that it does this, the one problem with that is when he's holding his bow, it just doesn't have the resistance. It keeps wanting to kind of pull back a bit because it's so well articulated. It doesn't hold the bow drawn as well as I probably would like. But anyway, waist swivel, ab crunch to about here, and this is all rubbery, so it can give a little more in all directions. And then the leg goes out that far. I'm not sure if I can get him to balance for a kick on his own because there's so much going on, so much articulation. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee to there, and then he got an ankle rocker and up and down and pivot and just all the way around, and then kind of try to tuck that pant back in there. But quite a bit of articulation. Big difference. It feels way different than just a standard release like a classified or any of those. So here he is in comparison to the NECA. So there is NECA. I never liked NECA kind of having this hunched over look to it. I always thought that was weird. Like, why is the NECA one hunched over looking and not kind of straight up like this? The Hiya Toys does look better in that regards. Now, it is shorter. NECA, I guess, even back then was still going for their 7-inch scale. And so he fits more in the 6-inch scale, not the 7-inch scale. And let's to show, we can put like a Han Solo side by side. And then this is Zartan. This is a custom job by moi. I never opened up my SDCC one. It's just too awesome. I'm just going to keep that one sealed and keep this dude on the shelf as my representation. But yeah, he kind of fits in with the classified and the Black Series kind of stuff a little bit better than the bigger NECA stuff. But getting back to just looking at these side by side, I think this looks better. I mean, even though it has a lot of cuts and stuff in the arms for the articulation, this one here has this cut for the torso. And so with the rubbery cover, which I don't know how long the rubbery cover is going to hold up. I don't know if it's going to still look good 10 years from now, but right now it still looks pretty good. It is a little bit different coloration than the arms, so the chest is lighter than the arms, which is a downside. But NECA almost looks like it's got some almost translucent plastic to it. Here he is next to the original Coleco one, and I've got to say that the original Coleco one still looks pretty good. Of course, massively limited on articulation and all of that, and this is a massive improvement also to the Coleco back in the day. But Coleco's got those, except they're way bigger on the Coleco one. I'm not sure how you'd store it on this guy, but cool stuff. And this is kind of how he holds up with the modern day sort of scale. Maybe that's a little bigger for NECA, but NECA over here for the Dungeons and Dragons, and that's the new repaint they just put out. And then this is the repaint, the toy recolor of Lino from Super 7. That's how Hiya Toys stacks up or stacks down. So what do I think about this guy? I think that they did pretty good. It's a premium feeling figure. The joints feel really good. They move smoothly. He's got a lot of articulation. I probably just need to get better at posing him with certain poses that I never ever try to achieve. But with that, I think he looks pretty good. He has an amazing amount of accessories, and yeah, utilizing him, it feels premium. Premium price. $90 is a premium price for this guy, but yeah, he does look good. You can put he looks good with his clothes off or his clothes on. Of course, I like the iconic look where he basically just has a bare chest. There's a lot of nice little touches that are included, like the watch, of course, the bow, 6 arrows, the quiver, the storage for all of his stuff, ton of hands, and his necklace, and things like that. But I am a little distracted by the difference in color from the torso to the arms, which is not huge differentiation, but it's enough to notice. And with that, I do kind of like pretty much everything about all of the accessories and the articulation, the way he looks. He's a little smaller than the 7-inch if you're going with the 7-inch scale. And with all of that, is it hard to pose him? Well, once you get him in a pose and he stands, then he stands for a long time. Does have a lot of realism to him. So a pretty good job by Hiya Toys. And he's the best one on the market. I mean, if you compare him to the Coleco, you compare him to NECA. NECA was pushing $100 on the secondary market also, so getting hold of this one is pretty good. Now, there's another option out there, but there's another Hiya option, but it's already sold out and might be available other places, but this one is still available at Gundam. I will have a link down below where you can get yours. And remember, TH Reviewer code, like and subscribe, and Titanium Hanger out.
War, everything that happened here may be wrong, but damn it, don't hate your country for it.
I want for our country to love us as much as we love it.